It's Patrick Hutzel from IntensiveCareHotline.com, where we instantly improve the lives for families of critically ill patients in intensive care so that you can make informed decisions, have peace of mind, real power, real control, and so that you can influence decision making fast, even if you're not a doctor or a nurse in intensive care. This is another episode of Your Questions Answered, and in last week's episode I answered another question from one of my clients, and the question last week was, my 71-year-old dad is in intensive care with stage 4 lung cancer and stroke. He's on the ventilator now and in an induced coma. What are his chances of survival? And that was part 8 in a series of questions. You can check out last week's episode by clicking on the link below this video. In this week's episode of Your Questions Answered, I want to answer the next question from one of my clients, Stephen, which are excerpts from one-on-one phone and email counseling and consulting sessions with me. And the question this week is actually a case study. My dad's been in intensive care for several weeks with ARDS, cardiac arrest and dialysis. He's got a tracheostomy. Does he have a realistic chance of survival? And that's part 2 this week of this case study. You can also look up part 1 of this one-on-one case study where I had another one-on-one phone counseling and consulting session, again by clicking on the link below this video in the written version of this blog. So Stephen's father has been in intensive care for several weeks now after he suffered from severe ARDS, which is also known as lung failure. He also had a cardiac arrest during this time in ICU, and now he's in multiple organ failure with the lungs failing, the heart failing, and the kidneys failing as well. Stephen is obviously very concerned, and he wants to know what decisions he should be making about continuing life support for his dad. We discuss his dad's future quality of life if he survives his stay in intensive care, and we also look at what's best for his dad by looking at the level of suffering his dad might be going through with his current stay in intensive care. So go and check out the dialogue below in the written version between Stephen and myself, and you can read what we discuss. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go and click on the link below this video and you can read the one-on-one counseling and consulting session by clicking on the link. So, how can you become the best advocate for your critically ill loved one? How can you make informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence quickly whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care? You get to that all-important feeling of making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence when you download your free instant impact report now by entering your email below. In your free instant impact report, you learn quickly how to make informed decisions, get peace of mind, real power, and real control, and how you can influence decision making fast whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care. Your free instant impact report gives you in-depth insight that you must know whilst your loved one is critically ill or is even dying in intensive care. Sign up and download your free instant impact report now by entering your email below. In your free instant impact report, you learn how to speak the secret intensive care language so that the doctors and the nurses know straight away that you are an insider and that you know and understand what's really happening in intensive care. In your free report, you will also discover how to ask the doctors and the nurses the right questions. Discover the many competing interests in intensive care and how your critically ill loved one's treatment may depend on those competing interests. How to eliminate fear, frustration, stress, struggle, and vulnerability even if your loved one is dying. You get 5 mind-blowing tips and strategies helping you to get on the right path to making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence in your situation. You'll get real-world examples that you can easily adapt to your critically ill loved one's situation. How to stop being intimidated by the intensive care team and how you will be seen as equals. You'll get crucial behind-the-scenes insight so that you know and understand what is really happening in intensive care and how you need to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care, and it's not what you think. Thank you for tuning into this week's Your Questions Answered episode, and I'll see you again next week in another update. Make sure you also check out our blog section for more tips and strategies, or simply send me an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com with your questions. Or you can call me, find international phone numbers on the top of the website. Also, check out our ebook section where you get more ebooks, videos, and audio recordings, and where you can also get one-on-one counseling and consulting with me via Skype over the phone or via email by clicking on the Products tab. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I'll see you again next week in another update.